Alright guys, welcome back to another video here on the Dividend Doggo Show on YouTube, and I'm going to be bringing you into the portfolio. I realized I was scrolled down a little bit, and this week was an interesting one to say the least. So I'm going to just dive right into it. As you can see, the portfolio is up pretty significantly. We're closing in really close on that $30,000 of earned dividend income with the portfolio. Overall, the market was pretty significantly up this week for market gains. Chunk of that came in from Mo going up a little bit the end of the week, and VST popping back up. You can see that finance was up pretty significantly this week. 5% for B of A, and for JP Morgan, almost 5% for Hingham. Bank of OZK was a little laggard there with 3%, only 3% in a week. You can't be mad about that. That's pretty good stuff there. Overall, energy was coming back up a little bit. Tech was down, which is kind of interesting to see so many things up, but Microsoft is in a little bit of a dip this week, and that's pretty much how the portfolio went. You can see here that overall it was very much up this week, which made me pretty happy to see almost 10k in gains there. I did have a little bit of activity this week. I did buy some news on the Mo there. Mo raised its dividend just under 5%, which was pretty much the expected raise. It puts them at 90 cents. Which, if we come over to Propeller, I will show you what the Propeller looks like for this. You can see that for the October payment, Mo is now sitting at 90 cents. We're now at, with this buy, just over 1,200 total shares, and that is going to pay a dividend of $1,081.79. So just shy of that $1,100 mark. I will probably drip enough of the dividend to push this up to right at $1,100. I think I'm going to leave it at that for a little bit and just kind of see how it does, because it's already a fairly large position. It does have a little bit of growth. I will go into that and look at it real quick here so you can see it in the consumer pie. As you can see, consumer was overall down a little bit across the board. Nothing too crazy, about 2% being the highest down, but Mo came back up swinging with 2% at the end of the week here. And if I look at this on all time, you can see that I kind of bought in at a relatively good time. My average cost basis was $39.77, and right now it's almost $10 up per share. So I don't necessarily think that Mo is a great buy right now based on fundamentals, but already having a position at this share price, it's certainly something that I'm watching and keeping up with to significantly see if I want to drop some extra money in there. I think I will be putting the dividend into it and dripping it back in, getting that boost up just so that it's bringing in a cool $4,400 a year in income for a position that only cost me $47,000. That's yielding about 9% on cost. So that's one thing to factor in as you hold these stocks for a longer time frame. Your yield on cost, if they're raising the dividend, it should significantly be going up every year. And it's one thing to just kind of monitor when you're looking at these things to make sure that you're getting the value that you want out of it. For high yield stocks like this, I don't necessarily expect a 5% raise every year, especially with companies that everyone has said they're going to be declining, the revenue is going to be going down, things like that. You just don't necessarily expect to get those beautiful 5% raises. So when you do get them, it feels awfully good. That ends up being just shy of $200 in additional passive income from dividends that position alone is yielding right now today. So that's just one of the magic pieces that keeps me wanting to be invested in dividend stocks. Now, that being said, in another portfolio here on M1 Finance, I did a pretty big buy this week. Some of the people from the JC, the Joseph Carlson community, and the Discord, they saw that I posted about this. I have been an investor and a holder of Chinese stocks. I've held Baba before, not at this price. I believe I held it at about 210, 220. So I like the stock. The stock is going down. It's downward spiraled even more from when I bought it. Am I really that concerned about it? No, not so much. Now, is this a position that I plan to hold for a long period of time? That's up for discussion. My goal with this position is just to boost up the IRA portfolio. This is in a tax sheltered portfolio, so if the regulation does drop off and they spike up to, $200 a share again, I will likely sell this position and then just diversify it. It's a quick flip position for me if it raises up quickly. If not, I will hold it for a year or two and see kind of how it goes from there. Now, what would make me want to buy it and buy more of it is if it keeps going down. I think I've talked about it a couple times, but do hold just under 8,000 shares of Tencent on the Hong Kong exchange, and I've watched that position grow from a little over $200,000 cost basis to over $700,000 in value, and it's currently depreciated down to, I want to say, about 380, 390 right now today. So it is significantly lower than I could have sold it at, and timing the market just isn't something that I'm particularly good at. So when I do see things go on sale or on a dip, like if Tencent keeps going down or drop down into the 40s or even closer to my cost basis, which I think is 27.40, I think, something around that mark, $27.40. If it started getting that low, I would probably start buying it again because all of their other metrics are still looking really good. I'm not that worried about the little bit of regulation around students playing games, video games. That particular segment from people under the age of 18 is less than 2% of their income for video games as a whole. So I'm not too worried about any regulation or clampdown on the amount of time that students are allowed to play video games. What I would be more worried about is if they start making them detach and deleverage assets that they've purchased overseas. That would be the point where I would start to get really concerned with it. As far as Baba and Tencent go, I think both of them have plenty of room to run and grow. I just believe in this. I believe that it's going to go back up into the 200 range, and I don't think we're going to have to wait that long for that to occur. But if we do have to wait a year or two, I am 100% okay with that. I will wait, and I will take my gains off the table when that occurs. So I did want to just briefly mention that those were the buys this week. Just a little bit of a leftover dividend buy for Mo, and then I will possibly be considering adding a little bit more to Mo if it doesn't shoot up this week into the 50s. I have a funny feeling that because of the dividend raise announcement, it might actually continue to go up. It ended up the week up 2%. If it goes up another, 1.25%, it's going to be up over $50. And I think that's about my cap for wanting to purchase, because I don't really feel like raising my average share price up all that much. I like this position where it's at around the $60,000 range, but if I do add another like $2,000 to this position, it would push up that dividend into the range where I'd love it to be, which is that $1,100 mark. I don't even have to actually put in that much for it to do that. But overall, I am very happy with the dividend raise. Dividend raises are one of the things that I look forward to, and it's a highlight to the stress of life that it makes investing fun for me, and that's partially why I'm a dividend investor, and I like it. It helps keep me motivated, and it helps keep me focused and on track. I look at there's a lot of conversations that are going on constantly in the Discord, and it's often people just suggest going into VTSAX and calling it a day. And if you're an investor that doesn't have the time or want to have that extra financial motivation, if you're not a financial mutant, that is the best path, in my opinion, for you to go. You pick a high quality fund, like just buying the total market funds, or you buy something like SCHD, and you just relax and you just set it on autopilot. You auto invest every week, set a percentage of your paycheck to go into that, and just let it ride. And that's just kind of where you go, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I just want to leave you with that little piece of mindset. Sure, you can get great returns out of just doing the total market investing, and that's probably the best way to go for most people who aren't going to be active with their portfolio. But if you're someone who is an active investor that is setting goals, and you want to see the dividend income start compounding, and you want to see that dividend growth and have that extra little bit of motivation on the side, where you're constantly looking at, what am I going to make this next month? What am I going to make in just a few days? And you want to see that money compounding and rolling in, that's just kind of where it sits. I've built, I want to say everything all in, where it's somewhere around the 2.4 mark in assets between paid off properties and stock investments. This portfolio includes Tencent, and it does not include Alibaba, that purchase that was just made. So, it's one of those things that I really like seeing the growth. I like having that extra motivation of knowing that when I buy, I look over here and I buy an extra share of Duke, I'm going to get 99 cents for that dividend. If I buy an extra share of Home Depot, I'm going to get an extra $1.65 every dividend payment. I like having that extra little bit of motivation because it really helps keep me focused. And if you can get away with it, the best way, in my opinion, to do that is SCHD. You can see that this position I've started building up more and more, and it's 45 cents a share right now. That next payment's coming through in September. I'm very much looking forward to that. If you can just focus on a couple of little things and building it out and what you're purchasing and staying motivated, whatever it takes to keep you motivated and keep you on track in investing, that's what you need to do for your portfolio, and that will likely help make you a successful investor. Just make sure you're buying something that's relatively high quality. Don't YOLO your bets on the next puppy coin. It might not work out. Why take those risks when you know that you can compound and reach your goals? And do it over time slowly, and you'll be able to achieve absolutely fantastic things and create the passive income that you want for the rest of your life. So I'm going to leave you with that little bit of advice and that conversation. And I do hope that all of you are having a fantastic week. This week was pretty difficult for me. I did get out and exercised every single day with the wife this week. We went on several walks, both through our neighborhood, and went to a couple local parks, and just trying to wake up and realize that there are blessings every day all around you. There are things to strive for and work for and build up towards. And thank you very much for watching. I do want to thank all of the people who commented on the last video. It's greatly appreciated. It's been a rough couple of weeks, and hoping that things will get a little bit more on track. Life will get a little bit less stressful, and some of the pain will slowly fade away. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the likes, the comments, and the subscriptions. I do greatly appreciate it. We're just a few subs away from 1,000, and I honestly didn't ever think I would make a YouTube channel, let alone get 1,000 subscribers that want to listen to me talk about my personal finance journey and building up passive income. So thank you very much again, and I appreciate every single one of you. If you have any questions about anything I discussed in the video this week, drop me a comment on this video, and I will talk to you very, very soon.